Hello everyone, you're watching Hands On, Little Things show where we do a live demo of a craft, and today we are making these beautiful faux marble coasters. I'm your host Sarah Priebus, and I figured with all of the entertaining that's coming up with the warm weather, you don't want those sweaty beverages getting all over your nice hardwood table. So these coasters are perfect for that. They're very simple and you can do them in any color palette, and I'm really excited to try them with you. So what you will need for this craft is polymer clay, cookie cutter, a metallic marker, and a glaze, which is optional but will make your coasters last longer. Let's get started, and don't forget to leave your questions and comments as we go. I want this to be as interactive as possible. All right, guys, so you can see some of the ones that I've made here, and I did a pretty colorful palette. I want to try something a little more neutral. So let's get our black out, and what we're going to want to do is make 6 half-inch pieces. They don't have to be exactly half an inch, but it's a good approximation, so I'm going to cut this one in half. All right. And then we're going to roll them into 8 or 9 inch strands. So we're starting with our black. I think picking the colors is the most fun part because, you get to decorate according to what you've already got going on in your home. You can make them as colorful or as neutral as you want. Hello everyone tuning in. I'm seeing your comments already. Maria Azevedo's tuning in from local New York City. And yeah, Debbie Munro from Liverpool in the UK. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this craft. I'm very excited to redecorate my living room table with some of these coasters because it does have a nice wood, and I don't want people's drinks to ruin the wood on my table. All right, so we've got 2 strands here. Like I said, I'm keeping with a relatively neutral palette. I think that this is a nice color to go with that, so I'm gonna cut that in half. And if you're just tuning in, we are making faux marble coasters. And what you want to do is get your polymer clay and cut it into 6 half-inch pieces. I'm rocking this more neutral palette to start. Maybe we'll add in one bright burst of color. My living room actually has some pink in it, so I think maybe hot pink would be a nice contrast to these neutrals. All right, so we've got our 3rd piece. And now our 4th. Alton Mustafi is asking, what's clay coasters? So coasters obviously, are what you would set your drinks on a table, and we're making them out of polymer clay because it's a really simple, easy craft. You could even do this with your kids if you wanted a fun thing to do on a rainy day. I think they would have a lot of fun picking out the colors and knowing that they did something that contributed to the home decor. All right, so we've got 4 of our 6 strands. Like I said, I'm gonna go pink on this because I have some pink in my living room. I think this is gonna add a nice pop of color to the neutral colors that I've already chosen. So we'll cut this pink one in half. And again, I'm gonna sort of wiggle that into about a 8 or 9 inch strand. Hello, Donna Francher from California. Hello, Lydia Carawan from Jackson, Michigan. Elizabeth Blake, I see you like the idea, so thank you so much. Maybe that one's a little thicker. I'm just gonna rewind that a bit. All right. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thanks, Kathy, for complimenting me on my color palette. I want to know, guys, if you were to make these coasters, what would you do? Would you stick to the more neutral palette? Would you go with some of the brighter colors? We have a whole hour here ahead of us, so we actually get the luxury of trying a bunch and seeing what turns out best. All right, so we have our 6 half-inch pieces that we've now wiggled and stretched into these 8 to 9-inch strands. You know, these measurements don't need to be exact. As you can see, mine vary quite a bit. Because ultimately that's the fun of this. It's not a constricted craft, and it can be as abstract as you want. So now I'm gonna take all of these pieces and sort of twist them together, as you can see here. Just make a nice twist. Oh, this one's kind of falling apart. All right. And this is fun. I'm very excited to see how this one turns out. And now we're gonna kind of roll it into a ball. And I'm just gonna keep mushing that all together. Now the fun thing with this is the more you mix, the more marbled they become. So if you really are going for that marbled look, you're gonna wanna do it a bunch. I'm gonna roll these out once with my rolling pin into a disc that's about 1/4 of an inch thick. So I've got parchment paper down, which should keep this from sticking. There's another hack that I'll show you in a little bit. If you don't have parchment paper available, that works really well. So let's roll this out once. And that's not very marbled yet. And I'm definitely going for a more marbled look. So I'm gonna get it all back together. Alrighty. We're gonna roll this out again and see if we don't have a more marbled look. Jessica Ann Green, I love your comment. Bright colors makes them easier to find. Yeah, because you know, a lot of us have kids running around the house, and for sure they can end up anywhere. So I think the bright colors is super helpful. Although I do understand if you have a more white and tan or beige palette going on in your living room, that might be better. Okay, so we're getting a little more marbled here, but I still have a little too much pink here for my liking. So I'm gonna do it one more time, and we're gonna see what happens. Sheila, I love your color palette. Yellow, green, blue, and purple. That sounds beautiful. Maybe we can try that one next since we're gonna make a bunch here today. Okay, so one more time, gonna roll these out. Now, as you can see, my parchment paper's giving me a little bit of an issue. Now, if this is a problem for you, what you would wanna do is something that I'm sure all of you have in the house. So what you could do is take a Ziploc bag like this, and we're gonna cut it open right along the edges that we've been given. Creates a pretty obvious border. Cut right along those lines so that you've got 2 sheets of plastic basically. And I'll cut along the other side here. So this is what I'm doing right now is an alternative to if you don't have parchment paper around the house, or if you're having issues like I am and your parchment paper is coming up and you just want to try a different way to get your coaster to be rolled out properly. Here we go. That was nice and easy. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is put my disc inside, and I'm gonna roll it out in between so it's not getting stuck. And this creates a flatter surface. Oh, see, now I'm really liking the way that this is. This is gonna bring out the pink in my living room for sure. All right. Who else is digging these colors? I may have done this a little thin, so we're gonna marble it one more time. Lisa Spogler Kirby said, I'm gonna try orange, lime green, and pink. You guys have very artistic ideas going on. I'm really loving this. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can get this about 1/2 inch thick this time. All right. There we go. Oh, and look at that. How nice is that? Now, if you want it to be super circular, this is what you need your cookie cutter for. So you're gonna take your cookie cutter and you're just gonna make sure it's that exact circle that you need. And then we're gonna peel off the edges. Perfect. And now I have myself an amazing marble coaster. This one is ready to go. All right, I'm gonna take some of your suggestions for trying your color palettes. So let's see here. We had, oh my gosh, first of all, I love what Shannon Country Girl Davis had to say. Some glitter added in it would be great too. That sounds great. And April Davis McDonald said red, white, and blue for the 4th. I love that. And Lisa Sparkle Kirby, thank you so much for your compliment. She said, that's stunning. Freya Schiller said, why would you have to cut it open? I'm realizing now that I probably didn't have to cut the plastic bag open and that you are correct. That was probably something I did not have to do. But you know what? I am not the ultimate crafter, and that's why we have this show for other people that aren't great crafters to do, you know, that are pretty easy. And we all learn from each other. Okay, so I wanna make this next one really colorful. I'm going to use the green, the blue, and the purple. Maybe I'll even add a little yellow in. What do you guys think about this? I think this is gonna be super fun. Now, the other cool thing that I wanna say is that we could do the same colors that we just used, and it would create a coaster that is with the same colors and would match the set, but it's gonna look completely different because every marbled effect is gonna be different once you roll it out. Okay. So once again, for those of you that are tuning in late, we are making faux marble coasters, and we're gonna start here with our 6 1/2-inch pieces. So I'm gonna start with my yellow, and I'm gonna roll that out to get about an 8 or 9-inch strand. And Shannon, you're asking me, do you have to bake them to get them hard? That is correct, and we will get to that as soon as I have a set for you guys. I will get to how to actually finish them off. All right, so we've got our yellow strand here. Now I'm gonna add in some purple. You guys are getting ahead of me here. Everyone's asking, how do you bake them? How do you keep them from drying up? Don't worry, guys, we're gonna get there. I'm just having fun with the artistic part of it first in choosing my color palette, what's gonna match my living room. Bianca Duarte said, these will be perfect for me to do with my very bored kids this week. Thanks for the great idea. Yeah, what I love about these is that your kids will actually enjoy making this craft with you, and it's different. It's probably not something that they've done with their teachers. They will then see, you know, their artistic endeavors displayed in your living room or wherever, so they'll feel like they help to decorate your home, which I think is great. I'm gonna double up on the purple here because I love purple. And then I'm gonna add in some of the other colors that we picked out, like the lime green and the blue. The other great thing is this stuff's all available at your local craft store. So it doesn't matter where you're from, you can find it. Once more, you really just need the polymer clay, you need some parchment paper, a cookie cutter, the metallic paint pen, and the gloss. So it's a really easy and inexpensive project that is not dangerous. Nobody's gonna get hurt here. And I feel like everyone can benefit from coasters in the home. So it's a great gift for everyone. Laura Humphrey said, Christmas ideas, great, I can start now. Yeah, it's never too early to start with your gift giving projects for the holidays. And you know, I think for me, like I said, it's summer here in New York, so that means outdoor entertaining, that means beverages getting sweaty, getting all over my nice hardwood tables. So I definitely want to have coasters for people to put down before their beverages leak all over my beautiful tables. All right, I'm gonna add in a little blue here. And again, what we're doing here is 6 1/2-inch pieces that we roll out to be about 8 or 9-inch strands. Pauline Menchesky says, they're so pretty. My granddaughter loves that clay, and she makes, what is that, shibis? I don't know what that is. Can you let me know, Pauline? I'm very curious. I love learning from you guys. And It looks like a lot of you are already guessing what we're gonna bake them for. I mean, the key, I'll tell you now, the key once we get to the baking part is to keep an eye on them because, you know, oven times vary. So what I tell you might be different for your oven, and that's super important. I think I'm gonna add in this like really nice pop of like magenta here. I'm really enjoying how creative we're getting with our colors on this one. And then we're gonna roll it all up. Samantha Nugent wants to know, I guess, if they're waterproof. So what you can do eventually is after you bake these, you can coat them, paint them with a gloss or glaze, and that will keep your coasters lasting longer. And Alicia Stewart wanted to know, are there written directions or a link as well? Once this video is finished, you can play it back to see the ingredients we used, all that kinds of good stuff, and then you can try it out for yourself. Okay guys, I have my 6 strands here. They started out as about 1/2-inch pieces. Now I'm rolling them, now they're about 8 or 9 inches long. And again, I'm gonna kinda just twist. I'm gonna twist here. We're gonna add in the purple on the other side. Okay. I'm trying to separate these purple bits here. There we go. And now comes the fun part where you just get to squish it all out. Oh, Cecilia Aguirre said, I did my crochet needles and they came out nice. Yeah, there's a lot of good suggestions on this show. If you guys haven't tuned in before, Hands-On is on now. It's actually a new time. It's Tuesdays at 3 o'clock. And there's a new craft every week that we do a live demo of. And they're always pretty simple. You guys can learn a lot from these. I certainly have, and I've had a lot of ideas for gifts, things to do with the children. So it's a great show, and I hope you guys tune in next week as well. All right, but let's focus on this week's project. We have our ball. I'm gonna roll it out. I've struggled with the parchment paper, so I'm gonna put it once again in my Ziploc bag here. And we're just gonna give it a nice little roll. Ooh, this one is so nice. I don't even know if I need to marble it anymore. This one would look great in a little girl's bedroom. Let me know your thoughts. I think this one is so cool. People are asking if you can spell words on them. You know, you guys would have to experiment with that and let me know because I'm not so sure. But look at that. I think this looks fantastic. I'm not gonna marble this one up anymore because I like how clearly the colors are separating. So I'm gonna take my cookie cutter. I'm gonna put it right on there and take that excess off. And oh my gosh, how easy is that? We have another amazing coaster. I love that you guys are all writing in saying that these are great to do with the kids because that's what I was thinking too. Phil Forrest said the pink one really looks like a bowling ball. These could be a fun gift to give for kids whose parents or grandparents are into bowling. You know, it's so funny that you said that, Phil, because my father was on a bowling team, and now that I'm thinking about it, I could totally give these to him for Father's Day, and he would love that. So thank you for that idea. It's like, from my idea came your idea, and back to me. I just love that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do another one with some other colors. I'm thinking this time we'll return a little to the neutral idea, so I'm gonna start with this little bit of white. I think maybe we'll do let's do something patriotic since we've got the 4th coming up, right? So I'm gonna use the red, white, and blue, and we're gonna see what we can get out of that because, I mean, how cute would it be, you know, to be entertaining for the 4th of July or even Memorial Day that just passed, and you have a patriotic set of coasters ready to go. I mean, for Christmas, red and green, we can get really creative, and all of our holidays, we're like set on our coasters. You don't even have to worry about finding napkins for entertaining all the time. Kendra Berglund is asking, do they air dry? And Kendra, they do not. They will be put in the oven in a little bit. I just wanted to make sure I actually had a batch. And Barbara Dibburn, you said that you missed the first part of it. Yes, you will be baking it. So for those of you tuning in late, again, we're making foam marble coasters. They're great for entertaining, crafts to do with the kids. All you need is your polymer clay, parchment paper or Ziploc bags, cookie cutter, a metallic paint pen, and an optional gloss if you want to make them last longer. All right, so I rolled out that we're gonna cut this red in half so we have a smaller piece, because once again, we're making 6 half-inch pieces here. And then we kind of wiggle and roll them into 8 or 9-inch strands. Somebody said that they would make good for the sports team. These would make great ideas for if you're hosting, you know, an event at your house for watching the sports games, and I love that idea. All right, let's roll this one out. And Glenda Minzy said, very pretty. Could you make bigger ones for hot plates? You know, I haven't experimented, but I bet you could. And I think that that's a great idea. Bigger versions of these would be great, because I'm always in need of, like, you know, new serving platters. Okay. Oop, this one's a little long. That's the great thing about these, though. They don't have to be, there's no science to it. So you can really just approximate everything. Okay, now we got our blue. Are you guys excited to see how this patriotic one turns out? I'm so excited. I'm gonna make a whole set of these, I think, for 4th of July. And really quickly, guys, we'll be back after a short break to finish off this coaster. And we're back. I'm still wiggling my blue. We're almost there. I'm gonna do another blue here. There we go. I mean, this is great. Yeah, Lisa Scheiber Haith, I hope I'm saying that right. You said, or you could attach 3 together for a hot plate. That's fantastic. And Samantha Nugent is suggesting a great glaze. That I don't even know how to pronounce, but she's saying varathane polyurethane is the one I use, and it's a great glaze for something like this. Thank you for your expert opinion. You guys always teach me so much when I'm crafting, because like I said, I'm a beginner crafter, which is why I love doing this show, because I feel like I always learn a lot from you. All right, so now we have 5 of our strands. I need 1 more. I'm gonna double up on the red because, oh, you know what I could do? No, I was gonna say I could do a little gold, but let's actually just do 1 more red. All right, and then we'll be ready to make this into our coaster for the 4th of July, which we can make a whole set of. And again, the really fun thing about this is that no 2 coasters are gonna look the same, but they will look like a matching set. So I love that about that. Nicola Catherine Gillies is going back to the idea of the glitter clay. Now I'm really excited to try some glitter clay, because I think I'm definitely one for glitter, and I think that would make these even more fun for the kids and even more fun for the adults. All right, so we have our 6 strands. They're 8 to 9 inches long once again. So I'm gonna start to put these in a nice little twist here. I'm gonna work in more red, then I'm gonna layer on my blue, and soon we will smush this up. 1 more. All right, so now I'm gonna smush this all together. Alicia Stewart wants to know, how thick do you roll it out? Or it doesn't matter because it goes in the oven. So each disc should be about 1/4 inch thick. That's what I found to work well. But I think as long as you're watching them in the oven, you should be able to get it down to a science. But every oven varies, so it really depends. Okay, let's put this once again in our Ziploc bag. That prevents it from sticking. There we go. So, Estelle, it's optional to glaze these at the end. It's really only if you want them to last. The glaze keeps them protected so they'll last a little longer. You don't have to glaze them. They'll turn out nice and hard, and you know, you definitely don't have to glaze them. But if you want them to last a couple 4th of Julys, then maybe you do want to glaze them. All right, what do you think? Shall we remarble this? How cool is this? Don't you love this? I'm pretty okay with it, so I'm just gonna roll it out so it's a little bit more of a circle. All right, and like I said, we want it about 1/4 of an inch thick, which is where I'm at right now. Toss that to the side. I'll use my cookie cutter. And once again, we have a coaster. And what I want to show you guys too, I love these so much. How cool is it that we are getting all these different colors of coasters? No two are going to be the same, even if you're using the same color palette. Jill Hayes Spencer said, they're too thick, a glass won't sit flat on them. Yeah, you definitely have to make sure they're flat. And if they are too thick, yeah, I guess your glass would be raised above the floor, or raised too high above the table. So, I guess you want to make them about 1/4 of an inch. I found that that's what works best with the glassware. Okay, we're gonna make one more because I feel like once we put them in the oven, we want to have as many to go as possible. Estelle Swainfeld said, I'm watching your show from South Africa. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay, now Tara Becker brings up an interesting point. She said, take the scraps and make one. Okay, so guys, let's take all of our scraps. You know what, let's make one more and then we'll take all the scraps because I don't have, actually, I might have enough. No, I need a little bit more. We're gonna have to make a little bit more, but I'm gonna do that experiment in a little bit because I'm really curious to see how that's gonna turn out. These are our scraps so far, and we will be making a coaster with this. So let's make another one. I'm gonna try a whole different color idea. We've got this dark green. Then I have, let's say, I'm gonna unwrap this like brownish color. I wanna see if I can make almost like let's do that. And then, ooh, this is, there we go. We got this color, and then I'm thinking maybe like this. It's almost like an army color, so this will be fun. I've always liked the camouflage. So let's, once again, for those of you that are tuning in late, I love for everyone to hear exactly what's going on. This is LittleThings show called Hands On. And it's our weekly live demo of a craft. And today we're making foam marble coasters. And I think these are great for anyone that's entertaining because especially here, like I said, it's summer and those sweaty beverages are gonna get all over your nice hardwood tables or floors. All right, so I'm cutting each of my pieces into, I'm gonna have 6 1/2-inch pieces. Again, this is not an exact science. As you can see, I'm not using a ruler, I'm just eyeballing it. And that's the beauty of this craft, and that's why it's so nice to be able to do with your kids as well. Oh, Carolyn Louise said red, white, and blue is my favorite. Yeah, I think the patriotic one turned out pretty well. Let's see how this one works. So I'm gonna roll each of these, squish them into, and wiggle them into their 8 or 9-inch strands. And we will go from there because I'm really excited to see what happens with all of the scraps. Phil says brown, white, and black is my favorite. It looks like a sleeping guinea pig. Phil, you are just making me laugh with the bowling balls and the sleeping guinea pigs. You're a comedian over there. Where are you from, Phil? And then I like this too. Deanne Ruth says, why not make these into small discs with a hole for wearable crafts for kids and adults? String up on a piece of leather for a medallion. I love that idea. Yeah, I feel like this can be made into many different shapes and sizes. You know, if you wanted to make non-traditional coasters in a different, like let's say a star shape, like you could use a star cookie cutter. So you can really mold these crafts to whatever it is you're looking for, get as creative as you want. And guys, don't forget to let us know and send us pictures of your crafts because I always love to see how they turn out. I learned so much from you, like the glitter idea, that sounds fantastic. I really either want to put some glitter in these or find glitter clay. Do they make glitter clay? You'll have to let me know. Savannah L. Jouette says, these look easy to make. They are so easy to make. I am all about easy crafting. I don't have a background in crafting. This is, you know, just a hobby and something, you know, if you've got kids that are bored at home from school, If you need to entertain them with the summer vacation coming up, you know, I always am looking for craft ideas, and this is one that you can do with them. Or, like I said, if you just want to be the hostess with the mostest that has the most patriotic 4th of July coasters and decor, then this is a way to do it very easily, very inexpensively. So I'm a huge fan, and as you can see, it's not taking me too long. Like we've already are on our 4th coaster. So technically, if I had made them all the same color scheme, we would have a set of coasters almost as of now. Okay, so I have my strands. I think I may need one more. We're gonna see. This may not be quite enough, but I'm gonna roll these all together. And I think, again, the key is to kind of separate your colors so they can marble, create that marbled effect. And I just like how none of these are the same at all. Oh, this is such a great idea. Tara Becker says, you can monogram as you're getting them pressed, add the letter and press in with some flat surface. I think that's so clever. I wish I had I had that thought beforehand, because I would definitely have given it a try. And Lynn Beauchamp says, this would be a good way to make some money too. You know, I didn't think about it, but like a side gig as a coaster maker, like, yeah, you could sell this stuff on Etsy. I think people would love these. Jackie Allman McCormick said, I'd like to see pink camo. And you know, as I'm making this camouflage, I think that, and I'm looking at this pink one over here, I totally agree with you. I think that would be so cute. All right, let's roll this out, see if we want to remarble it. Because like I said, guys, the more that you roll it out, the more you mix, the more marbled it gets. All right, here we go. And I found that the Ziploc bag works, the plastic bag works really well as an alternative to the parchment paper. All right, this is not marbled enough for me. We're gonna re-roll this out. Pat, you were asking about needing a kiln. No, you do not need a kiln for these. That's the beauty of it. They're so, so simple. All you need is an oven. So I actually don't think this is gonna be big enough. So I wonder what happens if I mix in one more color. We're gonna find out together, because I think this needs to be a little bigger. I'm gonna see if I can mix in this brown here, cut in one more strand. And we're gonna find this out together, because, you know, what happens if you make a coaster that looks a little too small? I'm not really sure. It's so funny. Carla Lake Compton says, I've done this to replace the ugly balls in my window blinds to match the decor. That's so creative. I really like that. So I feel like you could use this for a lot of different things. All right, so like I said, this is what you might do if, let's say, you didn't have enough clay to make a full coaster. So I'm gonna add in this twist of brown, and we're gonna remarble this, and hopefully that gives me the amount of clay that I need to have a coaster. All right, squish it around a little more. Ruthie Paulino says, what happens if they get wet? So once they're cooked, nothing would happen if they got wet. They would be fine, but you know, as you know, just to be safe, you can glaze them. We will be doing that later on, and you can see how we do that. Okay, so let's roll this out again. I think this one's gonna look great now. I'm really excited. I wanna know too, guys, what do you have coming up that you need to be entertaining for? Any holidays, any birthdays, any weddings? It's that season where there's a lot going on. So let me know, and maybe we can come up with a craft that would be suitable for entertaining next week. Because once again, hands-on is every Tuesday at 3 o'clock. All right, I feel like that might be big enough. No, not quite. Guys, I'm definitely messing this up here. I'm gonna add in one more thing of brown. But see, this is what can happen when you're doing it, and it's, you know, you just add in what you need. So that's really the beauty of it. There's no exact science. You can alter it as you go. Okay, so I have one more strand. And Lynn Beauchamp is asking me, is it usually 6 strands? I've been doing 6 strands. It doesn't have to be 6 strands. You could do 2, you could do 8. Like, I think it's just to measure out approximately the amount of clay that you need so that the thickness is correct for the coaster. So I found that 6 about ½ inch pieces usually measure out to be the right size coaster. But as you can see, that didn't work because my eyeballing skills were not so great in this last version. All right, now we're gonna try this again. Hopefully this will be big enough. Here we go. And it definitely looks big enough now. There we go. Now I'm getting my coaster. I'm just gonna actually flatten it out a bit. And like I said, if you don't have parchment paper, the plastic bags work as a great alternative, and they keep it nice and flat and it doesn't stick to it. So that's why these work so well. All right, there we go. Now we have one that's big enough, and I'm gonna just use my cookie cutter and all right, here we go. Now the question is, do we have enough to make a random coaster from all the scraps? Oh, that one's really nice, actually. I like the fact that some of it even turned like whiter. That's really cool. Okay. And here we go. I think I might need actually one more coaster to make something from the scraps. So let's do one more. Let's use some different colors. This is the best part. Your kids would have so much fun picking out the colors that you need. I think I'm going to do, let's see here. I'm gonna go back to using, I like the yellow, so let's use some more of the yellow. Here, and let's demo the fact that maybe you don't need six pieces. Let's do some with less. So let's do one with this yellow. I'm gonna do one, we haven't used orange yet, so let's do some orange. And everybody, yeah, basically you can get this clay really anywhere, any craft store. You can buy it online. It's super easy to find polymer clay. I'm glad you guys are all excited to try this. I was really excited when I figured out that this was something super easy because they make such elegant, cute, creative coasters. I think my favorite still is the red, white, and blue, but let me know which one that you guys like the best too. Tina Miller says, great, I think I will be making them this weekend. It will be my first craft project. That's so exciting. And it's a great entry craft project because it really can't go wrong. Like, unless you burn the coasters in the oven, which even if you do, let's talk about that. Like, it costs you what, 50 cents? You know, you can just make another batch. That's the beauty of this craft. I don't know what color to put with this. Let's see, I think blue. Let's do blue. So we're gonna do the blue now, add that in. I think the 3 colors, I'm liking what happens when I use the 3 colors, like in the red, white, and blue, so I'm gonna keep this limited to 3 colors again. So we're gonna let's do 2 of each. We'll do 2 blue, 2 orange, and 2 yellow. All right, one more blue. Oh, Bev Susan says, I like the other side of the red, white, and blue one. All right, well, let me turn it over. There we go. See, that's the cool thing. No 2 sides are the same. I really love that too. And, you know, if you, like I said, if you really like the marbled effect, you just keep going and you keep rolling it out. You don't have to stop. Everybody is, oh, let's see. Angela Marie Jarrett says, use some red in the one you're making. Okay, Angela, I will. So I'm going to just add in 1 little strip of red. And we'll have this blue. There we go. Let's add in 1 red. We gotta listen to the audience because you guys, sometimes you know better than me. You know what's gonna look the best. So let's see what happens. Oh, it's funny too because Laura Humphrey says oh, you like the green one, the camouflage colored one. That's awesome. Yeah, I think the nice thing is that they're all so different. So you can and they're so inexpensive that you can keep making them until you find one that you like. All right, so I'm gonna roll this out. And we're gonna take a quick break, guys, actually, and when we get back, we're gonna find out what this last coaster is gonna look like. Welcome back to Hands On. All right, where we left off is I am finishing up this coaster, and we've got almost like a primary color thing going on. So now I'm gonna start to wiggle these together, twist them together. I'm gonna add in my red. I'm gonna add in the orange. And we're gonna add this blue. And now I'm just gonna, this is the best part. I gotta say, this is like a stress ball, but you're making a craft. It's kind of nice. And Brittany Mitchell's like, I can't wait for the mixed one. Me too. I'm trying to get through the next one so we can make the mixed one. I hope it's gonna be enough. If it's a small coaster, you know, it'll do. All right, here we go. We've got this nice like primary. This one makes me think of a beach ball. I think this is gonna look like, this would be good for like a beach themed party. And we're gonna roll it out. And I'm gonna take a vote. Do you guys want me to remarble this one? Should we re-roll it up, or do you like it the way it is? Let's see. Oh, I'm so glad you told me to add in the red. It looks great with the red in here. Let me know, do you guys think that this one needs to be remarbled, or do you like it the way it is? I'm taking a vote. Those are the two sides we've got. Let me know in the comments. And if you like it the way it is, then I'm just gonna use the cookie cutter. Carol likes it. All right, Carol, that's one vote for like. Alicia Stewart says remarkable. Okay, cool. I mean, Kathy says more marble, but Kathy, you're alone there. Oh, Agnes is joining you in the marble. Remarble, remarble. Guys, I'm so torn. I don't know what to do. I kind of like it too. Should we just marble it to see what it looks like? I'm just curious. I'm so curious. Let's just do it. Okay, here we go. Marble, 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 marble. Okay. If this ruins it, I'm gonna be so sad. But I don't think that's possible. Oh, Elena said add black. Oh, you know what, Elena? I think that'll look great, but I'm realizing that I don't have any black clay left, so I can't. Oh, unfortunately, a lot of people said they liked it the way it was, and then I went and remarbled it. I was just so curious. I had to see what it was gonna be like. Okay, let's find out what it's gonna look like now. I hope it looks just as good, or sometimes, you know, you do so much and then you mess it up. You just never know. But again, these things they cost no money, so it's okay because you can just make another one if you don't like it. I think it looks pretty cool. I am curious to see like what would happen if I marbled it again, but I'm not. In the meantime, let's cookie cutter this. And then we're gonna see if we have enough to make one from the scraps, because that is definitely what I'm curious about. Okay, so we're gonna use our cookie cutter. And we're gonna make our, like I said before, I think it would be really cool to use a non-circle cookie cutter. I think this one turned out great, actually. I'm kind of glad that I redid it. And I think we might have enough clay now to try making a coaster from the leftovers, so let's give it a shot. Here we go. Oh, Bev Susan, you're so sweet. She said it's still pretty and you're wonderful. I love that. All right, well, it's almost time to show you guys how we finish them up, because it's super important to actually get them hard. So let's get there. First, we did this little experiment with our scraps, and we're gonna see how that turns out. All right. So, oh, Jeanette Newman-Fair said it looks much better, so that's cool. I'm glad we tried it. Yeah, Tara Becker says, I can't wait to see this. I know, this is like what we're all waiting for. I think it's gonna look so cool. And I think that's the beauty of it. Like every single one is so different. And normally, you know, scraps get thrown out. This is something you can use everything. Like you're not gonna have any leftovers. Oh, this is beautiful. This is amazing. I'm really excited about this one. All right, are you guys ready for this? Look how cool this is. All right, I'm gonna do my cookie cutter because I don't think this needs to be remarbled. I think it's remarkable. Oh my gosh. This might be my favorite. Check that out. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, I'm such a fan. Yeah, Brianna Grover says, that looks so pretty. Bev says something so very beautiful. It's a happy one. Yeah, this one just looks like it's a kaleidoscope of color. It makes me want to make so many more coasters so I can just see the scraps. You know what I might do? I don't know. What should I do? These two actually ended up being a nice little set here. And we've done all this in such a short amount of time. I just think that that's the coolest part. You can really take very little time to make a craft with your kids, or make coasters for a holiday party that or like a gathering you're entertaining for, and make them to decorate. You've got a sports event coming up, do them in your team's colors. You have the 4th of July coming up, do it like this one. There's just so many ways. Christmas, Hanukkah, all of that stuff. It's pretty cool. So what we're gonna do now is tell you how to bake them. So basically what you're gonna wanna do is, once you have all of these discs cut out and they're about 1/4 of an inch thick, you're gonna stick them in the oven at 300 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. So once again, that's 300 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. So fast forward, TV magic. I did a couple earlier for you guys that you can see here. All right, so these are the ones that I did earlier, and they came out, you can see they're nice and hard because I put them in the oven, once again, 300 degrees, 25 to 30 minutes. Now, I will tell you this, keep an eye on them in the oven, because the first time I did it, I did burn some of the coasters. So that's something that can happen. It's not a big deal because it didn't cost you very much money and you just make another batch. So watch them while they're in the oven, because you can start to see if they are finished or not, if they're gonna overcook. So definitely keep an eye on them. But what I have found to work very well is the 300 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. But just a reminder that oven times do vary. Okay, so now we have our coasters. They are nice and firm, and we're going to take, you could be done with them this way, I'll just let you know that, but we like to have coasters that last longer. So you can take a metallic marker. I'm using this silver Sharpie first, and we're gonna take it and do a nice silver edge around this coaster, because right now this coaster is it's just got a loose edge. So we're gonna make it a nice finished product. I'm gonna shake this up and just color in the edges with this metallic marker, which is super easy and just gives them a more, finished quality. You can see kind of that I already did it here with this. This coaster is nice and gold on the outside. So that's sort of the effect that we want here. And you can use whatever, but I feel like the metallics are great because they go with any of the color schemes. So you buy like 1 or 2 metallic markers and they go with everything. All right, so we're just gonna continue to color it in. And I'll do another one in gold just so you guys can see. And then many of you had asked about the glaze. So I'm going to show you how to glaze them as well, just so they last a bit longer. All right. And yeah, Lynn Beauchamp is asking, can you use any color? Yeah, you really can. If you wanted to use a black Sharpie or permanent marker, that would work well too. So it really just depends what you want, but I love the metallic. When a lot of you were suggesting the glitter, I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. I like the shiny colors. All right, so that one's pretty good. So I'm gonna stop with that. And let's do one in gold. This one has not been done yet, so we'll do that in gold. Susan Reed, I love your idea. She said, can you put felt or rubber on the bottom? Yeah, you definitely could. But I feel like if you glaze them, you really don't need to, because then you can kind of enjoy both sides. Because if you put the felt or the rubber on one side of the coaster, then you don't get to appreciate the uniqueness of both sides. And Patricia, to answer your question, no, I did not put anything on the cookie sheet. I just placed them flat on the cookie sheet in the oven. So it's really as simple as can be. That's the amazing thing of this craft. Like, they all look so fancy and beautiful, and it's such a simple craft. And that's like a general rule of thumb that I like to keep in my crafting, because if I overcomplicate stuff, I start to mess it up. And crafting is supposed to be fun, so you know, it's nice to experiment, but sometimes the simpler, the better. Let me know if you agree with that. Yeah, oh, Nicola Catherine Gilly says glitter pens. Guys, glitter everything. I'm such a fan of the glitter. I don't even know why I didn't mix any glitter to any of this. I love the idea of glitter. You'll have to experiment with glitter on your own and let me know. But yeah, you can see we now have this really nice metallic finished edge to it that I think looks fantastic. It really makes these look like they were professionally made, I think. We can fool a lot of people with our skill set here. Yeah, Chris Nicolay says, I love it. And Barbara Smolla says, I love them. Hello from New York. Yeah, we're here in New York too, Barbara. So hi, thanks for tuning in. I love this craft show. It lets me express my creative side. All right, so guys, basically, just to do a quick rundown, look at all of these crazy coasters we have. These are our faux marble coasters. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you experiment with all the glitter and the great ideas that you had. Let me know how it goes. We will be back next Tuesday at 3 o'clock with a new craft. And thanks again. I hope you guys have a great week. Bye.